Are we going to have another August sell-off? Is the V-shaped recovery forming a little bit too early? Last year in August, we did have a big V-shaped recovery. And honestly, man, it looked kind of insane. But last year, it kind of formed a little bit better to get some better plays in. But honestly, man, if we're looking at it now, we kind of have a small one forming right now. We got down to 620, and then we formed back up. And then maybe even today or later on this week, we could test new all-time highs and or bounce down even more. We have a lot of things moving the market overall. We're going to be talking about that a little bit later, but let's get to some Palantir earnings. Palantir beat their expectations and reported their first $1 billion. But they topped $1 billion in revenue for the first time and boosted their guidance. They beat their expectations, and honestly, Palantir is not stopping anytime soon. Their numbers were insane. It shows that there is a rapid growth and it will keep investors happy with, and the revenue grew by 48%. The full year guidance is good too, and they expect a range of 4.142 billion and 4.150 billion, and that is up from 3.89 billion to 3.90 billion. A pretty big jump overall for the year and shows some bullish sentiment in this stock overall. Alex says the growth rate for their business has grew rapidly and the skeptics has been fewer now. In the broader chart, man, Palantir has been going insane and is not stopping anytime soon. With that being said, man, I think this is going to be like Nvidia, where they have to beat their expectations by a lot to be able to go up now, because there's, the stakes are pretty high for this stock now. So honestly, man, keep that in mind overall. But honestly, man, we beat some all-time highs, and honestly, we could probably continue this rally up, especially with that full year guidance going up. And honestly, man, overall, Palantir is bullish. I personally have this in my long term. I think the average is like $114. So honestly, man, it is doing pretty good. I think after earnings, I'm up like 62% or something like that, but I have to look at it again. I will be doing an update on my long-term portfolio soon for you guys. But overall, man, SPY has been dipping, but now we have an overall recovery day yesterday, and this V-shaped recovery is already coming in. But what is going on overall? First link in the description below, I have a bunch of courses to help you guys become more profitable. I have a long-term that gives you guys 40 free stocks to outperform the S&P 500, especially in this time. And I also have, how to read charts, basic beginner things for trading overall, and how to make money off of $0 on your computer. So go check out these courses with that code down below. You guys can get 50% off. One thing that was pretty bullish is that EU came out saying that they are going to suspend US tariff countermeasurements for 6 months. This has brought a lot of bullish sentiment in the stock market overall. We have been hearing about a deal trying to get made between the US and the EU, and they did come out saying that they're currently working on the US for a deal to be made soon, but this could help fuel the market and the SPY overall and bring the market certainty up. This is going to come in full effect on August 7th, so keep that in mind overall, but honestly, man, this is pretty good. But some negative news that brought big stocks like Apple down. Basically, man, Trump did come out saying with his hate that India is buying and selling massive amounts of Russian oil and saying that they don't care about the Ukraine war and way more, and basically saying he will be raising the tariff on them by a lot. When this came out, we did see Apple take a big hit. Apple has been dying for most of the day yesterday, kind of made a V-shaped recovery, but didn't look too good for Apple overall. If you look at like NVIDIA or something like that, we see NVIDIA like climb for the whole day, and I had a over the week call option, so that one printed. But unfortunately, when this news did come out, Apple started dying, and it didn't stop at all. It just kept on dying. I did get into at 202.5 a call option, so I'm gonna see how that one plays out. That one's for 3 weeks, so I might hold that one a little bit longer. But honestly, man, that 202.5 level was pretty good. We did bounce below it for a little bit. I seen it bounce below it on Friday as well, but 202.5 was a level that I was watching. It did get down to like 201.5, so if you guys scoped out that play, you guys did pretty good. But with that being said, man, I am looking at Apple maybe getting back up to 204.5 to that 205 level, hopefully, maybe even 205.5. But honestly, we just got to see. We did get some decent news with Apple overall, maybe bringing investors a little bit more happier. But honestly, man, it should have moved a little bit more. But Apple basically wants its own ChatGPT. We see this with a lot of companies, honestly. Apple is making a major push to develop its own in-house AI, including a new answer engine and chatbot. This is a big shift for the company, which initially hesitated to invest heavily in this area and instead partnered with OpenAI to integrate ChatGPT into its own services. Now, a new team at Apple called AKI, Answers, Knowledge, and Information, is working on creating a new search experience that will crawl the web and provide direct answers to user questions. This move is driven by increasing popularity of AI and the need for Apple to have more control over its own technology. It's also a response to regulatory pressure to change how search works on its devices, which could impact a multi-billion-dollar deal with Google. If you guys didn't know, they have like a $20 billion deal where, Apple, if you search things up and stuff like that, it goes straight to Google to bring Google's like search up and stuff like that. But this can bring Google down overall. With that being said, they did have like a meeting or something like that where they want their workers to use AI more to kind of like, speed up processes and stuff like that too. So this may be good news, but honestly, man, we got to wait for them to come out with a deal, like a direct deal, like they're actually spending money and they're actually, locking into this. Because honestly, this can take more time than we think. But I think this was bullish overall because they did get sued recently for not like getting AI fast enough. But if we see other companies, man, they're getting a lot of debt trying to get into the AI race and stuff like that. So I think Apple was just trying to, not really go rush into it basically. But honestly, man, they are falling a little bit behind. But some of the data, man, we did have factory orders. It came in at negative 4.8. Estimated was negative 4.9. But today we have the trade deficit, PMI, and ISM services. This can potentially move the market. The PMI comes out 15 minutes after market opens, and the ISM comes out 30 minutes after market opens. But with that all being said, let's talk about some earnings. Palantir did beat, and they did pretty good. And honestly, man, looked great. So if you guys are in Palantir, man, shouting out to you. Today, Pfizer, Caterpillar, BP, and we got some other ones too. After close, we do have AMD, Supermicro. These are two that I'm looking at. Open Door, but a lot of people were pumped about Open Door. This might bring the stock down more, but yeah, we have Snap and some other ones, but I'm very, very pumped about AMD and Supermicro overall. Tomorrow, we do have Uber before open and Shopify and McDonald's. So I'm very, very pumped to see how McDonald's and Uber moves. And we do have AppLovin and IonQ and some other ones. DraftKings, basically the Robin Hood of gambling. But honestly, man, this one did get some pump back in the day. And then Thursday, D-Wave, some other ones. And then, yeah, man. But this is the earnings calendar if you guys want to screenshot it real quick. But overall, man, the market is moving pretty decent. But honestly, I think we're waiting on some key events like some more trade news. And honestly, the Fed rate cut odds, man. Right now we're at 90%, but we have to wait for September to see if he's really going to cut the rates. I mean, he kind of has to. He's kind of forced to with the data that he's using. So honestly, man, I want to see if we can actually cut rates and or if we don't cut rates at all. And also the August seasonality, man, it doesn't really look too good, especially for the post-election year. Man, we look pretty bearish, but honestly, man, right now we're moving pretty up a decent amount. I think the average is like 3.5% down on August. So we might see some more bear sentiment come in and the VIX goes up a little bit, the volatility. So we just got to see if volatility does spike. If it does spike, we might look a little bit more bearish overall. But honestly, man, just have your patience overall for the stock market. But let's get into some supports and resistance and some plays. So first off, man, I do want to get into some ATAI. We are moving up a decent amount. We are consolidating a little bit, so we can either break up and or break down. But ATAI has been getting a lot of hype. I've been seeing this one in news articles and stuff like that way more recently. And they're even talking about the moves, like the daily moves for ATAI. So I'm very, very pumped to see how this one moves. My dollar cost average is at 260, and I did recommend you guys to get that buy order in. But with that being said, man, even if you're not in, man, I do recommend maybe 360 to that 320 if we do bounce down lower. Just have your patience with this one, but this one can potentially make you a lot of money. People are saying this can get to 14, 15 bucks. And honestly, the returns, even at like $4 and $5, is still going to be a decent time to get in. Next one is going to be AMD. I'm going to be seeing if we could touch those highs again, but to the upside, I'm going to be watching that 180, 182.5, 185, 187.5, and that 190 level. Honestly, man, if we do start inching down lower, I'm going to be looking at that 176.5 for a buy zone for a call option if we can bounce down. But if we bounce down even more, you might get washed. So please be careful because this market right now, man, buying the dip, you got to be a little bit more patient to buy that dip, man. You got to be willing to, miss out sometimes because if it does get down to here, bounce back up, go back up to all-time highs, you just got to be willing to, thug it out and be like, okay, I missed out. But with that being said, man, if you guys get in and then it bounces down even more, you're going to lose a decent amount of money. But with that also being said, man, you could buy like 3 to 4 weeks out for your option plays and or even longer just to give us some more time to kind of come back to all-time highs. Because as we're seeing, man, these dips are getting bought back, honestly. So you should be able to make your money unless we get some like horrible news in the stock market. And honestly, the only horrible news that we can really get is the tensions with Russia and the USA. And honestly, man, we are seeing gold itch up higher because of this, because of these tensions. and we're like a few points away from the highs. So honestly, man, keep that in mind overall. You could probably play gold to the upside, and you could probably even play it to the downside if these tensions go slower. But honestly, man, just keep that in mind overall. Next one is going to be the SPY, man. I'm going to be seeing if we could touch some new highs too. But we do still have like $10 to move. So first one that I'm going to be watching is that 632.5, 634.5, 635, 637.5, and that 640 level. If we can break above that, look at that 641.5. And then that 645 level for the SPY. But if we start itching down lower, man, look at that 630, 628, 625, and that 622.5 to that 620 level for the SPY overall. But we did bounce off that 620, so it's going to be a key level to watch if we do start inching down lower. With that being said, I think a lot of eyes is indeed going to be on AMD's earnings, because if they can beat expectations by a lot, hype up chip sales, hype up AI overall, I think we could see NVIDIA go up even more. And if NVIDIA, AMD, and some other chip stocks, Broadcom and stuff like that go up, that can bring the overall market up as well. With that being said, though, to the upside, look at that 182.5, 183.5, and that 185 level. NVIDIA moved pretty well yesterday, and honestly, we could probably itch up even higher. So have this one on your radar overall. If we do start itching down lower, look at that 179.5, 178, 176.5, and that 175 level. If you guys do want to get into a call option, look at that 178.5 first, and then if we do start itching down lower, look at that 176.5 for a call option. But honestly, man, I think if we do itch down lower, we might get down to like maybe 179 flat maybe, and then bounce off. But honestly, just please have your patience overall with NVIDIA. Apple, man, honestly, man, this India news doesn't really look too good for Apple overall. We did go up to like 208 almost. We like almost touched it and then bounced off of it instantly when that India news did come out. So honestly, man, I'm looking for maybe India folding a little bit, maybe saying like, hey, like we're not going to buy the oil no more, or, you know, we might source it from somewhere else. Or maybe Russia and the US, maybe we could see those tensions, you know, going down a little bit lower. Maybe an actual peace deal finally gets made. It's been way too long, honestly, for that war. But with that being said, man, to the upside, like I said before, I'm going to be looking at that 204.5, 205.5, 207.5, and then that 208.5. If we could break above that, we could probably get back up to like 210 to that 215. But to the downside, man, look at that 203, 202.5, 201.5, and that $200 level. I'm going to be watching that 202.5 to that 200 level to buy some more call options. But it depends on how the market opens. Honestly, we are itching up a little bit higher. So if we can itch up just a little bit more, I might sell my call options just to eliminate the risk of it going down even more, because we can retest that 201.5 to that 200 level next. So honestly, this isn't really a good play that I made yesterday, but honestly, if I sell it right at open and it doesn't like break down more, I think this one is still going to be a decent play overall. Tesla, man, we did see Tesla itching down lower. I mean, it like went up, went down, went up some more, and then went down a decent amount. If you scoped out that 203.5, man, you would have made a decent amount of money on a call option. But with that being said, Tesla is one to have your patience on. But honestly, man, if we could start itching up higher, look at that 215, 220, 225, 230, we could probably start itching up higher. And or if we start going down more, look at that 300, 290, and then that 280 level to the downside for Tesla. But if you guys do want to scope out a play, I do recommend watching that 300 first and that 290 next. But with that all being said, man, good luck trading today. Do not overtrade. Please take your time, have your patience. This market is a, you know, take your time type of market right now. I think it is a little bit slower, like after, you know, 2 hours after the market opens. So keep that in mind too. So your plays, man, you just want to get some more time. Just please get some more time. You don't got to trade the same day or same week or even the same day DTEs. With that being said, though, smash the like button, subscribe, hit that first link in the description below for some courses to learn how to trade, become a better profitable trader. And let's get to 500 subs. I'll see you guys in the next one. Good luck trading today, guys. Peace out.